How's everybody doing? Hey. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking out the trailer. I collaborated with Joshua recently and put together a traditional premiere of it at the Seekonk Cinema, which went very well, great turnout, but we originally released during the pandemic, so we had a drive-in style premiere, which was fun, but not a great turnout. So it was nice to get that done, and we're working on doing another screening in the more northern Boston area, so we can get a lot of people on that side of New England to check it out. So I'll have more information about that. But yeah, I don't know. Got any questions, Joshua?
First off, do you know what theater we're playing in?
The Capitol?
The Capitol.
Yeah.
And it's October 7th.
October 7th,
Yeah.
Capitol Theater.
Did you bring the QR code?
I do. We're gonna do a lot more promotion for it and set up some more official things and get it out on social media, but I do have a QR code because the people at the Capitol Theater are awesome and already put together a ticket link and are getting it going on their end. So yeah, the QR code I have will bring you to the ticket link and you'll see the info on there. But October 7th, I believe it's going to be a 9 p.m. screening, but we'll be able to get people in there probably 8:30 for kind of a meet and greet and do the pictures and hang out beforehand, and then we'll do another Q&A after that. But yeah, it should be fun.
So how was it producing, acting, writing, and directing that film?
It was a nightmare. Yeah, it was horrible. But that's low budget filmmaking at its best, right? I wouldn't, if I had my druthers, I would never wear that many hats again. It was my first film on top of doing all that, and it worked out. I'm very proud of the film, but it's way too much work, and I always feel like if I see other people wearing that many hats, that I see something lacking in the production, or whether it could be theater. I've seen it done in theater as well, but I don't like directing myself, and I do enjoy acting more than anything. So I think next time around, I would much rather pass the torch as far as directing goes and just be more of an actor producer, because I think that's a lot more maintainable.
Michael.
Yeah.
I was at the premiere actually, driving one, and the film was great. It's awesome film.
Thank you.
David is a wonderful actor.
He is.
He makes that movie creepy as creepy can be.
He steals it, as far as I'm concerned.
What was your writing process on this? Like, how long did it take you from conception of the idea to your first draft, second draft, right up until production?
Yeah, so it took a long time, but not necessarily because of the writing process. It all started with a location. Basically, my family owns a cabin in New Hampshire, and they own a decent-sized plot of land up there, and I knew I would be able to shoot up there and take advantage. And I've always loved true crime shows and that genre, the thriller genre. So putting together a storyline and an outline for it wasn't too demanding or too much of a lengthy process, but I did go through many rewrites because it was my first venture writing wise, and I had staged readings of it. Once I had drafts, I shared it with many other writer friends and just people who weren't even in the business to just gauge their reaction. And I really had always vowed to not be ready for production or like start pitching it for financing until I felt like it was ready to go. It was a long process because I was juggling a job, I have family, and as most people are but yeah, it was, my number one goal was to make sure that this thing was in decent enough shape to be able to ask for money to make it, you know, so.
It's so impressive that right out of the gate, you get distribution, all this stuff, right? That's unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, we lucked out in the drive-in premiere. That's where we landed our sales agent, NPX Films, and they're based out of California, and they just saw that we premiered at the Rhode Island International Film Festival, and sent me an email, and were just interested in taking a look, and they liked it. And, we had a couple other offers from different sales companies, but I ended up going with them because they weren't huge, and they just the way they were talking about the film, they seemed to really get it and enjoy the film. It didn't seem like it was just another movie they were trying to make money off of. They actually seemed passionate behind it and really understood what I was going for with the story. And then they helped us find our distributor, Despot Entertainment, and it's been great. I mean, my main goal is just to get it out there, and if you know, the biggest goal and kind of it would be bonus is if we were able to make our investor money back, and that way we can show them that, hey, we've done it. Let's make another one. You know, just keep it going.
Do you have another feature that you're ready to go?
We do, yeah. My partner who's not here, Mark Fogarty, he's my business partner for JL Pictures, and he's a very strong writer and teaches screenwriting, and he's got a bunch of scripts that we kind of are playing around with as far as our slate of films. But we did co-write the next one together. That the title right now is Enjoy Your New Home. It's a thriller. And I'm very excited about it, but now we're kind of back to ground zero with trying to find financing for it and see what happens. We're hitting the ground running and got a pitch deck and business plan, and we're pitching to people. But yeah, that's the stage we're at right now. But yeah, thank you.
I got a question.
Yes.
How do you go about casting a movie? Because obviously you've been acting for a while, so you know a lot of people. Did you have a casting agent, or was it sort of just like you accumulated these connections throughout the year? Like that person be good, that person be good?
Yeah, a little of both. We did hold auditions for certain roles, and Ann Mulhall, she runs LDI Casting, local casting company out here, but she also was a co-producer on the film. She was a huge help in this stage of trying to find financing. She kind of like went door to door with me to track down investors, and but she also was a big part of the casting process, and that's how we found David Pridemore. Like, he was not on my radar at all, and I had actually pictured someone a completely different physique than him for the role. I wanted someone that was bigger than me. But then he came in and just blew us away, and Ann had made a great point that he's actually even more scary because he's smaller and he's not this big brooding force. He's just this creepy guy, and it really worked out. But yeah, as far as all the leads, other than myself, obviously, were Sean Carmichael. He did audition, but I knew him and kind of had him in mind. But yeah, I tend to do a little bit of both, though. If we're really in need of a role and I don't have anyone in mind already, I would love to hold auditions. And it's a big deal to be as collaborative and give as many opportunities as possible to the vast amount of talent we have here in New England. But at the same time, you want to work with who you know and who you know is good, so it's a little both.
And what about, how long did it take to finance?
That was probably the longest process. It took months, if not. I remember looking for funding for quite a few months and getting our first money, which is huge. I mean, for anyone that is trying to do this, once you get that first investment, the others will follow because they're going to see that, oh, someone is interested in this, and you know, they will have faith in it. But I remember pushing production because we just didn't have the amount of money we wanted to work with yet. Because I think we originally wanted to shoot in October because, you know, it's up in New Hampshire. It's like you get the leaves turning. It's going to be beautiful. But we ended up pushing until May. We shot in May the following year, and that was mainly because we just didn't have the funding yet. Go wrap this up. All right.
He gave me the 2-minute sign. I'm like, all right.
All right, gotcha. Yeah. Well, it's great talking to everyone. I will leave some business cards in the back and the QR code, and follow us on Facebook, Killers Next Door, and Jail Pictures, and we'll get another screening going. Thank you.